Hello.
Hi. Nice timing.
We're back with episode 4.
We've made it to 4. And if you sat through 3, good on you.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. If you've been listening since the beginning, we really appreciate you guys. Again, like everybody who's been reaching out to us, it's been super sweet. And, you know, the messages that we've been getting regarding, you know, making it easier to talk about the fetish. And, you know, a lot of people never thought that something like this would exist ever. And something about that feels really cool.
Yeah. And I like being a part of it too.
Yeah.
Like, I like that I can be a part of it. I love that we can make something like a podcast that's not, I wasn't sure when we thought about the idea, I'm like, we can't see it. And I feel like the whole thing is like, people want to see stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
like
just us talking about it. And we've gotten, you know, like people like it. And that makes me feel really good.
If it was my preference, this would be a video podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be difficult to do, but that kind of gets rid of our anonymity a bit.
Yeah. I guess we could wear like face masks.
Yeah. We'll just put prosthetics on our face.
Ooh, we could be
like
somebody
like
different each time.
Like 2 demons talking to each other.
Yeah,
just a demon and a gargoyle.
I can go down to the Halloween store right now.
We could.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
I want to be a witch.
You know what? Our very first podcast should be for Halloween, like a Halloween episode. It's our first video podcast and it's just in costume.
I would love that.
And it's just muffled.
I would love that. Oh my God, we'd have like a smoke machine.
We could. Yeah, we could decorate the background. We could do a whole thing.
I would spend money on this.
I would too.
I'm serious about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be down.
I'm super jazzed.
All right.
Okay. Well,
I mean, no promises.
Yeah, no promises, but best believe I'm going to push for it. Like I'm not going to just let this go. Today's topic, it was inspired by a voicemail that we received from a girl who it was really interesting, and it inspired like this entire episode.
Yeah.
And it's basically about her time online and the experiences that she's had, not always like positive.
Yeah.
She labeled her biggest issue as like creeps online. And so basically we wanted to make an episode just talking about like our annoyances, I suppose, in the community. And I don't know, just like online etiquette when talking to people. I know I've only been around for a few months, but I get a lot of messages and I appreciate the messages, but sometimes it's like I open up my phone and like it's like I'm at work or something and it's just like, whoa, you know, it's like, it's a lot out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we wanted to dedicate like an entire episode to talking about stuff like that. And I have different like points of view than you do, and like different things that like annoy me, I guess, and that annoy you.
I mean, it's two different experiences, like being a woman in a fetish community versus a man. I mean, that's those are two different things right there, like huge things. Yeah. So, but yeah, I got the voicemail here, and
you want to go ahead and play it?
Yeah.
Hey guys, take 2. So I've been in and out of this space for years in this habit of making an account to see content and interact with people when I'm in the mood for it. But then once I'm tired of people spamming my inbox and getting nothing from using the account, I shut it down or delete it. And I would always end up making a new account later. Some people would notice and recognize me in my post, which is interesting. But anyway, my main point to contribute is that every time without fail, I have to deal with creeps. People are very bold in this space and feel entitled to requests from you and think they have access to you in a way that isn't safe or realistic for this kind of account in this community. They want to know all of your history and life story and feel offended if you don't answer their barrage of messages or acknowledge them as fast as they think you should. It's an especially interesting perspective being a woman and minority in this fetish, so I understand the men get excited seeing a woman in the space, but they don't have any concept of boundaries most of the time. As someone who's felt they had this fetish for a long time, I feel like this aspect of it has been inescapable, especially since Instagram seems to be the most active place for participants in this community. Like, I've gotten used to the behaviors from people, and I know where my expectations should be, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating to deal with. On occasion, I meet someone who's a good conversationalist, and then they aren't on consistently after a while, or they disappear entirely. And then I feel like, what's the point of still having my account when I'm not engaging with the other randos messaging me anyways? Only recently have I met someone in real life, and I'm glad, but that's not to say it was a straightforward happening. I would always come to this place of questioning my safety where strangers are concerned, especially when they're just horny and potentially could be much different in real life than they convey online. So it was a back and forth because I see the red flags and want to be safe, but it feels like there isn't a better way to meet people who share my fetish. But I haven't lost hope, so maybe that's my toxic trait. I feel like it's almost karma for all the times I've left out of the blue and certain people got upset that they suddenly couldn't message me anymore. This feels rambly at this point, but I'm so happy this podcast is a thing now, and it's feeling less taboo to hear people talking about it so openly. Good work, guys. Keep it up.
So, would you like to offer your perspective first on this?
It makes me sad that she feels like she can't exist in this space without having to just like put up with, essentially, like put up with like the creepy people.
Yeah.
You know, that in order to have this environment and like express her fetish and stuff like that, like she has to also just like put up with people, and that kind of sucks. Have you, like, being a guy, like, have you ever gotten any like creepy messages like directed to you that you feel like you just have to like put up with, or is it pretty?
Yes, I have, but not in the way that you think, or like not for the reasons you think. I've only been out about my fetish in this way with an Instagram page, you know, for 3 months now, probably. Yeah. There are because I post you so often, I get so many messages from people thinking it's you. Oh. So I'm getting a taste of what you are going through.
But nobody directly.
Well,
because you've posted things with just yourself.
I have posted things just myself, and I think I've gotten like 1 or 2 from people who were into like male belly buttons. It wasn't anything memorable or anything super shocking.
Yeah, like it's hard. It's hard because it's like we knowingly put out sexual content that we were meaning for it to be sexual. Like that's the purpose. And so I can't get mad when people, you know, give me sexual comments back, because I don't want to say I'm asking for it, but it's like we're putting that out there. And I enjoy, I don't want to say compliments, but I enjoy like people telling me that they liked it, that they got off to it, that like, you know, like this, you know, like I like played with my belly button while watching like your videos. Like I really liked them. Like I appreciate that because it means that we're making something good and people are liking it and they're enjoying what they bought. You know, I think that's super great. But I get messages a lot of people just, I'll open up like my message portal on Reddit and it's just like, I want to eat you out while I finger your belly button. Like, I want to come meet you and like do this and that to you. Like, I want to stick a knife in your belly button. Like, just like right out the gate, just like really graphic, aggressively graphic, explicit, like just paragraphs of stuff. And just, I don't know who this person is. I don't know how old this person is. I didn't ask like for this.
That's
like,
the freakiest part.
Yeah.
Is you don't know how old they are. You don't know if it's a minor, like just testing the waters with you. Like you don't know what the fuck it is.
And it's kind of just like, I don't know what to say to that. Like I'm not in this space. It's like unsolicited sexting almost.
Yeah.
And I'll be like in the line at the grocery store and I'll see I have something. So I'll open it up and it's just that. And I'm just like, I don't know how to respond. And then because I don't know how to respond, then I get like several more messages with the same thing, or like people get like upset that you don't respond back and they'll just send more. Yeah. Like they'll just send more of the same stuff. And I don't know, it feels kind of bad. It's, Yeah. Like I do like the messages where, because I do like to talk about it. Like that's what like you and I are trying to do.
Yeah.
I like the messages where people are like, hey, like, do you want to talk about belly button stuff? And then I'll say yes. And then we go like back and forth and get like more into it of like what we like specifically and kind of stuff like that. And I think that's super fun. And I like that. And then I can also choose like when during the day I respond, because I'm just not sitting here like being this person. Like I'm my own person. I have my own life. Like I have to do things. It's like I'm not always like equipped and ready to like respond to aggressive messages all day. And it's like I just need that to be respected.
And not only like the unsolicited messages you get, but we even get unsolicited pictures.
Yeah.
You know, even after we tell them that we aren't interested.
Yeah.
You know, I think I am a little more brash when I'm messaging people online. Especially when they think that it's you, you know?
But then people, when they find out that it's not me and it's you, they're super apologetic. It switches. It's almost like it's a different person.
It's like they know that it's like they feel like they did something wrong. Yeah. At least that's the response that I get
and
sometimes.
Then all of a sudden it's just like a normal person messaging you.
Yeah.
Like different tone, like you can feel it in the messages.
Yeah.
Like it's not as...
But what's crazy is that I'll be clear that I am not Zoe. This is outiebyte. This is outiebyte's account. If you want to get a hold of Zoe, you can reach out to her at, u/Zoe Belly on Reddit. And they'll move into like, do you want to see pictures of my belly button? I'm not really into guys' belly buttons. So I'll say, no, thank you. And they're like, are you sure? And then I can see them like continuing to type. I can see the dots pop up. And then suddenly like 6 like really graphic pictures will show up.
Yeah.
You know?
That happened that
That's
one
happened
guy
twice
specifically, to me. You were showing me when we were in line to like get food once and he said like, fuck you. Yeah. Like he got like really angry that you didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's
and
not
and
okay.
honestly, I have very little patience for those types of people that like do not listen, that do not respect.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I say that, no, thank you. Like that's it, you know? And they send pictures anyway, like immediately blocking them. Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty frustrating. And it's something that I wish wasn't such a major problem, but I know for you and for a lot of other women out there, especially those in this community, it's intense, especially if you're one of like the top models out there or, some of the more popular ones. I'm sure it's just a constant barrage of messages, even like the more explicit ones.
I've noticed a lot of girls, like their pages, they won't even like accept messages. Like they won't respond or look at me. Like they say they don't respond to like DMs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So, but it's like, I don't want to be that way. It's like, I want to, like, it's not just about me putting stuff out there. It's like, I want to like interact with people.
They're putting up a boundary, but of course you're going to have plenty of people that are not reading her bio, who are not going to read that and message her anyway, or they are going to read that. And they're going to say, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. If I do want to talk to this girl, this is my only way to talk to this girl. Yeah. Maybe there's an off chance she's going to talk to me back.
That's so rude. Yeah. It's like, respect that. It's like and the girl who sent us the voicemail, she kind of mentions this, like, would people be the same in person? Like, would it are people just this way online, or if it was face to face, would it be different? And I wonder that too. And like, part of me thinks that it wouldn't be. That like,
I think it would be different.
If I were to encounter, like, we're at the store and like this person knew who I was, like, I don't think they would come up to me and be like,
no, I don't think they would either. I think maybe there would be like a insanely small percentage that wouldn't have that fear of doing that, but it's keyboard courage. Yeah. They're at home in their own private space and they feel invincible. Yeah. And that they can do whatever the fuck they want and say whatever the fuck they want.
Do you think I just don't feel like a person?
Huh?
Do you think I just don't feel like a person? Like, do you
think them?
Like all of us, like, do you think like the girl in the voicemail, like, do you think that we just don't feel like people?
No, I think there are no consequences for them. Or at least they feel that there are no consequences. Yeah. Because the worst that can happen is that the girl doesn't message me back or she blocks me. Yeah. Like, so what? I can always make another account. Yeah.
And just because I'm making content online doesn't mean I'm open to everything. Yeah. And everybody. And it's, like, I still, I'm not just down to like hook up with every single person and talk about every single thing. And it's
exactly.
Yeah.
And another problem that we come across often are young people like messaging us.
Like minors.
Yeah. And I honestly wish there was a way on a lot of these platforms to just flick a switch and be like, nobody under the age of 18 or 20, 21, whatever can contact me, you know? And I really wish that was a feature. I don't know how that will ever be done one day, but I am constantly doing age checks with the people that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
If they message me, okay, how old are you?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't proceed until they give me a number that's acceptable. You know, it's really scary. It makes me really uncomfortable.
It makes me super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then people who try to lie about it after the fact, like you had that one message the other day.
Oh my gosh, I need to pull it up.
Where the kid was 16 and then you were like, no, sorry, I can't talk to you. And then he was
like, much more vocal than that, but.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm using my aunt's account. She's like 26. Like,
it's like, what the fuck is that? You know?
Yeah.
It's such a.
You have to take it. It's just, I know it's not like.
But no, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm thinking about that situation. And both situations are bad. This is the way it kind of works in my mind. Either A, the person really was 16 and they're just really stupid, coming up with a really bad excuse for why I should continue to talk to them and why it's okay. Or B, that's an older person pretending to be a minor and then also giving a stupid excuse. You know,
both are gross.
Both are really gross. And, you know, there's no telling that this person is an adult pretending to be a minor. I don't know if that's a thing people like to do, because
people like
I'm not a minor.
Be perceived as younger, but people like to be perceived as younger. Like people, they get off on like it'd be like me pretending I'm 18 online and gives me like a life.
Sure. But no, I did screenshot the conversation and let me pull it up. The account was pregnant and outie appreciation, all one word strung together. Yeah, they hit me up saying, hey, and I said, hey, how's it going? They said, good, you. Just finished recording a part of the next podcast episode, so we're doing well. Cool. You should post more forced outie stuff. Or you should post forced outie stuff more. And I was like, we do that so often that we've needed to let her belly button heal before we do it again. How old are you? 16, but I'm pregnant. And I'm like, this is gross. Don't message me again. That was my next message. Then they say, I live it. I don't know if they meant I love it, but I live it. But this is my aunt's account. She is 26. And I just put blocking you. But this is not my account. I'm just on my aunt's phone. She is like 26. Or she is in the store and I'm just sitting in the car. I snuck onto her phone. Then they said, please don't block my aunt. Or please don't block. My aunt is going to be so mad. And I said, dude, you're fucking gross. Stop pretending this is my last message.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Because even if he was on his aunt's account, like, who cares?
I don't even entertain the ruse. I don't even entertain it. It's like,
I get so mad with how bad the lie
that
was.
makes no sense at all, that I don't even want to like break it down. It's like, you're not on a family member's fetish account. What the fuck? Like, no, that doesn't work that way. Yeah. You know, oh my God, my aunt's going to be so mad. No. But no, that's pregnant and outie appreciation on Instagram. Very disgusting. That was just yesterday, a couple days ago. Yeah. It's that type of shit that is, hurting the community, I think. And I know that it's more people than just us that have to deal with that. I just wish that they were like stronger measures and, options in place to prevent younger people from hitting you up. And, you know, one can argue like, is Instagram the place to post this stuff?
Yeah. Well, she mentioned in her voicemail that Instagram is like the best place for it right now. Like it's the best place for the community right now.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to be on Instagram, but it's like with being on Instagram, then it opens the doors to like any age person. 'Cause I mean,
yeah,
but any age person can be anywhere. You can lie about your birthday. There's no test, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I started looking at belly button fetish content when I was, I want to say 10 years old, maybe 9 years old, somewhere in there. I'm looking at adult content. I am in the early forums that were around that, you know, was probably filled with adults. You know, I was never interacting with anybody. It's hard to grow into your fetish in a like in an online community and take a back seat and like not participate.
I mean, it's hard because it's like these like teenagers or whatever, they don't have any other like real sources of like feeding their fetish, you know?
Yeah. Or interacting like from an interaction standpoint.
Yeah. So it's like they go online, and the internet is such a big part of our lives now. So they go online seeking that. So it's like, I get it. But it's like, don't put people in a situation, in a back and forth conversation where you're
actually breaking the law.
You're talking to somebody in their 30s.
Yeah.
Because that's not okay. Because we don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Majority of people don't want that. Like, don't do it. Like, it's going to get both of you in trouble.
Yeah.
It's gross. Like, that's not what I'm looking for.
So the other part about that interaction with that account kind of brings me onto the next topic, which is just people pretending to be other people.
And this makes me upset too.
Yeah. And I feel like this is happening so frequently. Now I could be wrong. I don't have any way of proving anything. I feel like after being in the online belly button fetish community since like back in like the first, like before Google was around, you know, let's say that, like, I feel like I have a pretty strong barometer when it comes to identifying if someone is actually a male or a female. You know, it's with how much they're willing to put out. Like, for example, tons of accounts. Everybody on Instagram in the belly button fetish community has probably seen this. Tons of accounts with women's names, no profile picture, no posts, following a ton of people, and probably very little followers, but that's like irrelevant. Tons of those. There are lots of accounts that have women's names, but then there'll probably be like a handful of pictures, and the photos are super blurry, super fuzzy. They're very pixelated, very compressed. You know, like when you take a photo on your phone and you upload it to Instagram, there's like a lot of quality that's retained, you know? I'm not saying like the second you save a photo from somewhere else, you immediately degrade it, but depending on like the settings you set it at or how you've edited the photo or whatever, you could actually degrade the quality quite a bit. And to me, it's pretty easy to see like this over compression of an image. That's a major red flag for me right away. There are so many accounts that reach out to us, and I'll do an age check, and then they'll like throw in there, like, I'm female, by the way. And I'm like, okay, all right. For one, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
You know, you're just throwing it out there. That's a little unusual to me.
And if you were actually female, would you have to say that you were female? Like, why do you feel like you have to preface that?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It's one of those accounts that won't have a profile picture, won't have posts, or they will have a profile picture and they won't have any posts. And I'll be like, is that your face in your profile picture? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. Then you're not afraid of posting your face on the internet. Go ahead and take a picture for me, you know, with like a piece of paper next to your face with my username on it. And that'll be that.
Talk about the AI rendered photo that girl sent you with the finger near her face.
Yeah.
Super creepy. The lengths of this person went, and it was just so cringy and wrong.
Yeah. That
didn't
one
work.
That one was another one. So photos on the internet that are generated by artificial intelligence is like becoming a major thing now. So there are websites like Night Cafe and also Dolly 2 by OpenAI. Those are websites that you can basically type in a prompt. Now, keep in mind, this is like, you can't type in like not safe for work stuff. You can type in anything explicit, like it won't let you. It has a lot of it has a good like word filtration system as to not generate any like explicit imagery. but you can type in llamas dirt biking through the rainforest or something like that, something insane. And it'll actually, and you can add in a Renaissance painting of llamas doing that, or a photograph of, or realistic photograph, photorealistic animation, whatever. And it'll generate an image based on those keywords.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. So that being said, someone reached out to us the other day and was like, I'm female. I did the age check thing. Oh, they didn't have a profile. No, they did have a profile picture. They were this like blonde looking model. I was like, I've been getting hit up by a lot of people pretending to be women. Do you mind sending like a photo verification? I want to do something crazy. Like, this was the account where I was like, oh, well, then you don't have a problem showing your face because it's in your profile picture. I was like, okay, send me a picture of your face and hold up just your pinky finger next to your face, like Dr. Evil, pretty much. And they're like, okay, got it. And I was like, oh, okay, this will be fun. Let's see what they come up with.
And super easy requests. Because I could do that in a second.
I didn't really think that this was a female account. Like maybe I did a little bit, but what I thought was, if this is a guy, what lengths are they going to go to? Like, how are they going to try to fake this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I just had that vibe. It felt off.
And boy, did they go there.
Yeah. So they send this AI photo where the hand is like propped up under the chin and the fingers are going up the side of the cheek.
Like she's kind of like, like looking out a window or something.
Yeah, and I think the fingers might have been curled under, like so her fingernails like are against her cheek.
Under, and then there was this weird like glow around her hand as if it was copied a couple times.
It was strange. It was like because I've been trying and testing out like AI photo generation and stuff. It looked like there were a bunch of like AI artifacts, like where it didn't quite know how to render like the reflections in her jeweled earring. And there was like weirdness around her fingers and her face where, it did look kind of like a duplicate. And I remember looking at it thinking like, well, I've seen some mirrors produce that effect too. Yeah. So I was like, maybe it's like a real photo, but they just sent like, maybe they have a library of photos of this girl and they're like, what's the closest one with like a pinky or whatever?
Yeah.
But
her pinky wasn't even near it. Her pinky was near it.
It wasn't even sticking up.
Yeah. Her pinky was near it in the sense that like she has a pinky on her hand.
Yes.
And that's about it. Like,
yeah. And I was like, oh, so you can't put your pinky in the air? And they're like, oh, what? I misunderstood. I thought that was what you wanted. And I'm like, no. And then I took a picture of my hand with my pinky sticking up. I was like, no, like this. And they're like, oh, okay, 1 minute. And then I never heard from them again.
Yeah.
Oh, and also in that first photo, her eye was like really weird.
It was really, the whole picture was
very
like uncanny.
Uncanny Valley. I was just about to say that. It's like, if any of you know what the Uncanny Valley is.
The longer you look at it,
there's something just off about it.
More terrible it is. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know what the Uncanny Valley is, look it up. It's basically the idea that like as humans build robots and more realistic human looking robots or even photorealistic animations or whatever, like the closer we get to the resemblance of like a true human, suddenly like right before you reach that peak of it being looking like a true human, like the graph drops and suddenly something is very off-putting and strange about it. And
it's like there's nobody home.
Yeah. I think there's an Uncanny Valley subreddit, which actually is pretty like Mark Zuckerberg is often photographed and they say that he looks like he's in the Uncanny Valley.
He does. He did that like promotional video recently for like the metaverse or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he looks like he just figured out how to like be a human or something.
Yeah,
like he's just testing it out for the first time.
Oh my god, the way they make fun of him on South Park is actually pretty funny too.
Oh, he's too much. Like I can go. I'm not going to go into it. He's so funny to me.
But yeah, I feel like I am constantly seeing fake female accounts, and they don't have any content on them. I think they are just being used for people to reach out to other content creators and, bait them into having a conversation with who they think is a woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super annoying. And I feel like a majority of the females that, quote unquote, females that have reached out to us are guys.
Yeah.
You know, or I should say a majority of the female accounts that have reached out to us have been guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a major annoyance of mine because it just seems to be so common. Like it's happening every other day.
Or what annoys me is like on TikTok, the accounts who will pretend to be women.
Yes.
And they'll get a girl and they'll try to like persuade her to touch herself. Well, not touch herself, but like to like play with her belly button and do very specific things to it that in the fetish community are like sexual, you know, that they'll be like, oh, like I tried this, like you should try this, like it'd be so funny. And then,
oh my God, I've never met a person who could do that. Like they find a video
like,
of someone who pulled out their belly button. They're like, oh my God, I never met someone who could do that.
Yeah.
And then you go from video to video to video. And, you know, I'll come across a video of someone pulling out their belly button, then another one of someone pulling out their belly button. And you see like the same comments going on from like the same accounts. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing that for like over a year now.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's a female account, you know, no content. And they're always like, girl, I could do that too. Oh my God.
Yeah. Or
you
like,
know?
have you heard of the hair tie challenge where you like,
and there is no hair tie challenge, but they try to start it.
I don't think it matters what age they are. Like if you're pretending to be this person online and commenting on this girl's thing and like getting her to do that specific thing that turns you on, she's unknowingly like participating
in the fetish.
in like, in like something sexual.
But
like,
it's like, but
I think
it's such a gray area to me. Like at face value, it's not illegal. It's just morally, it's gross. It like morally toes the line of what is like socially acceptable.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
if
not
that's
illegal at all, but it's just gross.
Yeah, because like I screenshotted a lot of them the other day. I literally spent 2 hours scrolling through TikTok, going through all the videos that I can remember, looking for these same 4 usernames, and I kept finding them again and again and again. And like I said before, at face value, what they're doing is not illegal, but and again, that's like, let's say they are of age. What they're doing is not illegal, but when you step back and you get like that big picture view of what they're doing, it doesn't feel good. You know, there's something like off about it. And I think we talked about this yesterday when we fucked up on the first recording of the podcast.
Yeah.
That when you have a belly button fetish and you're growing up with it, there are moments where you are keeping the conversation going about belly buttons. You know, you are maybe innocently like trying to poke and touch somebody's, you know, it's kind of like that situation almost, but in a digital form. And is that a bad thing? You know, it's again, when you step back and see it, something feels like kind of uncomfortable about it, but is it just an inappropriate thing that shouldn't be happening ever? Or, you know, should it just be something that's allowed to happen because that's how you interact as a belly button fetishist on the internet? I don't know if that's a good way. I feel like I need to delete this whole chunk.
No, like you're making good points, and it's so hard to say.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. There's something, I can't pinpoint it, but there's just something so wrong about like
when they don't know that they're participating in a fetish.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how I would feel if like that happened to me. It's like I'd feel really gross because it's like I don't know who this person is who I just did this thing for. Like if I found out that like me going on TikTok for like everybody to see, you know, like going on TikTok and like pulling my belly button out and like tying it out and all that stuff, I find out that that's something super sexual that I'm not aware of. Because if this were January, I wouldn't have known. Like, if somebody would have shown me a picture of it, I wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know. And so, you know, this girl probably doesn't know. And if I would have found out that I just did that online and it's just out there for this unknown person, then I would feel really gross. I'm like, who is this? And like, he's probably like jacking off to this girl on TikTok, like playing with herself unknowingly.
So now let me throw this into the mix. I don't know if I want to include this part in this, but like, because everything can be sexualized and everything can be a fetish and everything can be a turn on to somebody, and every little thing, as innocent as it looks, could promote someone to jack off to it in their home, does that change the quality of what we're talking about? Does that change the quality of what that looks like?
No, because even if I got turned on from like watching someone stick their finger in their ear, like if I went on TikTok and I was like, hey, like you should do this like funny thing where like you stick your finger in your ear, like it's like so funny, like, and she did it and like I got off on it, like that would be gross.
To who?
It'd be gross, like to just in general, and to her.
You're assuming it would be gross to the person who did it and found out.
Yeah, like if she found out that like, hey, like this is like a thing,
yeah.
like it's still gross. It doesn't matter what it is, it's still gross.
Yeah.
Because unknowingly.
I don't know where I fall on this. I feel like the needle for me points more towards it being gross, you know? But I think I'd love to talk to more people about this in the community and hear their opinions, and maybe someone can help me solidify mine.
Because when somebody, like when you're in school or something and you're trying to like keep the conversation going about belly buttons and talk about belly buttons because you like need to talk about belly buttons.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily know what that looks like or sounds like. So I feel like I can't like.
Yeah, because that could mean that I'm going home later and thinking about that conversation and touching myself to it.
I feel like I would have to like watch the conversation happen or hear what was said. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never talked to somebody that I don't go to work and talk about this, you know?
Yeah.
So I've never tried to like instigate like a conversation with anybody. So I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah. I think, it feels like predation. It really does. It feels like it is borderline online predator, you know, and I feel, and granted, I understand that like the term predator, I mean, I was going to say that it's more so for minors, but no, it's not more so. It's anybody
predate anybody.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, no, you're totally right. No, I see it all the time. I take in this content as well. Like I search for belly button stuff all the time, almost every day. You know, on TikTok, like you'll see girls posting like series of videos because they'll get a video, they'll do a belly button video, then they'll get a comment, and then they'll respond to that comment with a video. That's kind of like a little chain. And, you know, I've noticed with this one account, she posted like 6 videos, and then now there's only like 3 that are up, maybe 2. And clearly, like she got it. She understood.
Yeah.
She understood that this was a fetish.
She
for somebody.
understood, and then she deleted them.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, she's not.
But she left those other ones up, and I think those ones are more of like the more. I feel like she left the ones that she made innocently, without influence from the fetish community. You know, I shouldn't say the community, but just, you know, that person, whoever that was. But yeah, I mean, I've screenshotted the accounts. I mean, and it sucks because I can't. I don't think there's any way I can report it. I don't think there's any option that, oh, I think this person is pretending to be somebody else. Like, oh, and what's crazy is that there were 4 usernames that I found on TikTok that were being repeated. 3 of them, when I went on that 2-hour binge of like looking for those usernames, I found those easily. But then there was a 4th one that popped up that I never noticed before, but I remembered that it was the username of a woman on Instagram. Somebody created an account to like mirror her original account. They are posting content that is not belly button related. It's just life, you know. They're taking her photos that would show her midriff, and the belly button was photoshopped. Like it was way too big. It was like a cinnamon roll outie, so it had a lot of details to it. The lighting would be incorrect. The color correction would be incorrect. It was like such a blatantly obvious, like cut and pasted. They tried to blend it, but it didn't work out. Like the outie itself had different photo compression than the rest of the image. It was like so obvious to me.
Yeah.
But that was the shocking part. It was like, okay, here's this account for this woman. I did find her real account before, and I thought about reaching out and saying, hey, I think this person took your account, but then I didn't want to be outed as like someone who like looked at that content. You know, it was weird for me to do that. Cause I would have been responding from my personal account. Yeah. Anyway, to bring it back around, that account name on Instagram, was the same one from TikTok, that I saw. That was that 4th one. Oh. So like they borrowed the name, and I don't know if that account on Instagram has been deleted yet. I'm pretty sure somebody who follows me called that account out. I think I remember messaging them saying, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I think they like reported them. I mean, honestly, what I would love is for this to be like a roundtable discussion. I would love to sit like in a fucking Skype room or in just on a video chat or an audio chat with like 4 other people and talk about this.
We open it up like a part 2 and then
I would honestly, I would love to. Like, I don't know who would be down. I think I know of 2 women that would be down to talk about it.
Yeah.
Actually, there were some other guys that reached out that said like they would be down to like chat about it.
Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to like do a roundtable and just have an open discussion about it and just see kind of like what opinions we could put out there. It's more of like a selfish idea because I feel kind of insecure about the fact that I don't have a hard stance on this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm because I don't know how to fight the person who says, like, when I say that it's gross, they're like, yeah, but it's not illegal. Like, I don't know what to fucking say to that, you know? And ultimately, is that just what it comes down to? Or is it more of like a moral conversation versus a legality conversation?
I think it's a moral conversation.
You know?
Like, I don't care that it's legal.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, like, don't do it. Like, it's still gross.
Like I said, it feels predatory. It doesn't, something feels really like, bad about it.
To like relate this just to like normal everyday life. Like, I can't go pump gas or go to the store without one person coming up to me and like cornering me in a store and telling me that they think I'm pretty and they want my phone number. And like, that's not illegal, but it's like unwanted.
Yeah. When you're living that over and over and over.
It makes me feel really uncomfortable. Like, I've left stores before because I felt so uncomfortable. I've put down merchandise and just left because like I don't feel comfortable being there anymore. I've had to call like my mom while I walk out of the store so that somebody knows like where I am, you know, and so that if anything happens to me, they can hear me. So it's just because that's not illegal doesn't mean it's not like
not morally right.
Yeah. So
that's a good way
so
to
that's
think
like
about
where
it.
I stand with it. Like, you know, I feel like we should just like be better.
Yeah.
You know, be better at like talking to people and just be more respectful.
Yeah. Cause I think.
Cause you're going to push people away. Like this girl who like feels like she has to leave.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she feels uncomfortable or put up with it. You shouldn't have to like put up with it. Like, why can't we just all be equal?
Yeah. And, you know, I think that's like a good kind of segue into something that we're doing is like, we're making a Discord. We haven't made it public yet. We're still kind of like getting all the rooms set up the way we want and the rules set up the way we want. Because, you know, a big problem in the belly button fetish community is that like when a new like forum opens or when a new like place to post like photos and videos opens, it's like flooded with content of either people who are a questionable age that you cannot verify, copyrighted content from like other studios and content creators. So it's like tricky to moderate, but you know, I don't really feel like I have a home base in this community. There are a couple of Reddits that I'm in, but like there's not like a place to go, like a central location to go and chat to people. And after getting so many voicemails and hearing how friendly people were and hearing like a real voice behind like the experience made me feel like I want to try and be friends with some of these people.
Yeah,
like I want a friend with the same fetish as me.
Yeah.
We don't have to have sexual experiences together.
Yeah.
You know,
someone just to talk to about stuff, like air stuff out and, you know, commonalities and stuff like that. I think that's like really special to me. Yeah.
And I think trying our best to make what we consider a safe space that can be like closely monitored, exclusive. So it's not just like readily open to the public. So just anybody can join. Like, I think that's going to be one of the first major problems. Like it has to be like an invite only thing with people that are trusted by the people in that group, you know? Yeah. I don't know if we'll succeed. All we can do is try. And, you know, there have been so many websites in the past that have like come and gone for, you know, one reason or another. I don't know how many of those websites have closed down because of some of the concerns that I've voiced so far, but all we can do is like try again. You know, I think we can take a whack at it from like a new perspective and see where we go.
Yeah. I think like just by doing this podcast and like hearing people and like what the girl said today in the voicemail, like I think like people want it. I think people want the same things that we do, and like this Discord would be like a happy addition to like the community.
Yeah.
That people would really respond to.
If any of you guys have an idea on how to make this Discord like a safer space for people, like I'd love to hear your ideas. If you want to reach out to us through email at outiebyte@gmail.com, or you could reach out to me on Instagram at outiebyte, or you could reach out to me on Reddit at outiebyte, or reach out to Zoe at zoebelly on Reddit. So anyway, yeah, expect this Discord to come out around September sometime. We're still, in the early stages, still figuring it out, still trying to see what rules work best. There are a couple of ideas on the table so far, but nothing's really solid and set in stone yet.
Yeah.
But also we want it to be a place where you're not just going to come to talk about belly buttons. You're going to be around other like-minded people. It doesn't necessarily have to be all belly buttons, all sex, all day.
Yeah.
It is, there's going to be a category, a like not safe for work category for all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be movie chat. I set up a movie time voice chat. So if
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so like if we wanted to have like a movie night, like one of these days,
we can make friends.
Yeah, seriously. Like I am not friends with people in this community, and I want to be, and I think you do too.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else out there wants that same thing.
Hearing people's voices have made me want to be friends with these people.
Yeah.
Like I'd be friends with every single person that we've heard from.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, if you're interested in that, if having a movie night with some other like-minded people sounds like a good idea to you, reach out and let's chat, and we'll see where this thing goes. But yeah, is there any other thing you want to leave off on?
I just wanted to throw out there, because it's not going to see the light of day, but we were trying to think of names for the community, and I thought of Naval Base, and I was really proud of it, but it already exists.
No, it existed at one point. I don't think that was one of the first websites I ever went on.
I was just really proud of that name. Like when it came to my mind, like I was proud, and I just wanted to throw it out there for everybody to hear that I had that idea. And how cool
that you came up with that name, and you had no idea that site existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool for the person a million years ago that also came up with it. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there so I could brag about it.
Yeah, we are looking for names. Oh, and also speaking of Naval Base, shout out to anybody who was like around Umbilico, Naval Lust, Naval Base. Like those are like the three main
what
websites.
Was the other one, like Snazzy Belly Button or like Sparkly Belly Button?
No, what?
No, there was another one. Sparkly
Celebrity Belly Buttons?
No.
I have the list.
Belly Button Shazam, or
what are you
Nifty Belly Buttons. Belly Button Shazam is the name of the Discord.
Okay, I wrote down all the websites that I can remember.
Okay.
Umbilico, Naval Lust, Naval Base. Keep in mind, I went on those before.
Navalicious.
That's
the one I'm thinking of.
So Umbilico, Naval Lust, Naval Base, Celebrity Belly Buttons, Audi Forum. I'm pretty sure it was called Audi Forum. Or no, it was an Audi Belly Button web page. It had photos. It had multiple pages of photos. And it had real stories, at least what I assume were real stories. I think they were being promoted as being real stories. Mm. At the time, I didn't even like when that was on that website. I don't think I even watched belly button videos yet. I had people weren't pirating shit yet, So the only thing I had was reading those stories.
Yeah.
I sound so fucking old. Like all I had was the radio, but like that was amazing to me. So yeah, it wasn't really a forum. It was a website with multiple pages on it. There was Navalicious, which was a forum, Belly Inc., and I think there was another one called Belly Forum. Those are the only websites that I can think of at the moment. But yeah, those first three, Umbilico, Naval Lust, and Naval Base, I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. We're talking like over 20 years ago. I went on those sites for the first time. I'm pretty sure it was late 90s when I checked out those sites.
When you were talking about your experiences in middle school, I was starting kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah. You said something last night when we were recording. I think we were recording when my mic wasn't on.
Yeah.
Like that part. But you said something something about being in middle school, and I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, like 2000, like that was
Oh yeah, because that's when I would have been in middle school, like year 2000.
Yeah, year 2000. I was in kindergarten in 2000.
Oh my God.
I started kindergarten 2000.
Well, we don't have to talk about that anymore.
Isn't that fun? Well, because now, like me and you right now, like we're the same age.
Basically.
Yeah, we're the same age. I feel no difference.
Because you're how old right now?
Us.
You're 20.
I'm 29. I'll be 29.
It looks like you're not 29. You're not going to.
I will be this year.
I keep forgetting if you're 27, 28, but you're 28.
Yeah, I'm 28.
You're going to be 29.
29 soon.
I am.
And then you're 33.
33, going to be 34 soon.
So 29 and 34, we're like 5 years
apart. So there's going to be a month where you're 28 and I'm 34.
Hot.
1 month of that. And then you catch back up.
Yeah. But so we're like 5 years apart. It's not bad.
Not bad. I think that about wraps it up. And thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. This is obviously a big topic for us.
Yeah. If you have any like thing you want to add, like any stories of your own that you want to contribute that you thought of while listening to this, like we would love to hear it. Or if you want to like be a part of like a possible like part 2 section to this, and we can do that roundtable thing, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And also send us those messages and let us know you'd be like willing to like be live. Yeah. Like in the recording of this obviously this podcast isn't live, but like live in the recording of it. Like you'd be talking to us. Real time.
Real time.
Real time talking.
What's that?
Real time.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yeah. So yeah, you could do that too.
And also we still have our voicemail line open. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to leave an anonymous voicemail.
That you want read on the podcast.
Yes, we will play it on the podcast. It is up to you how much info you want to leave for us. Like for example, if you call in and you do not tell us what your Instagram username is, or you don't reach out to us and tell us that you left a voicemail, we will have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave it that way, cool. If you want to tell us who you are or leave an initial, whatever. But anyway, that number is 773-893-0656. Again, it's voicemail only. You'll hear our lovely voices right when you call. And we actually recorded that voicemail in the drive-through line in the car.
Yeah. And we finished it like right as we pulled up to the window.
Yeah, we did.
It was great. We like hit stop, put the phone down, and handed our credit cards to the lady. It was so funny. But yeah, with those, I've said this in the last podcast too, but just don't, like, if you're talking about somebody specific, like, don't put their name or anything. Like, keep it like anonymous for them. So you can still talk about them, but like, just don't use their name or like use like a fake name or something.
Exactly. Creep.
Anyway.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.